Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe for more makeup content, and keep on watching for the makeup breakdown. Alright guys, so I'm going to start with eyebrows. I'm using a spoolie with some brow freeze on it, and I am just running through those hairs and then pressing everything down to secure it, and that gives us a really nice lifting effect. Then I'm taking my angled brush with the shade Brunette from my Senna brow book, and I'm just starting to fill in that brow, really getting in there. And then later on using a flat brush with some Temptu concealer from their color wheel, and I'm just cutting around everything and correcting where I need. I don't always fill the top side of my brow, but I had a breakout right there, so that had to go. Using a nice warm brown and a medium-sized blending brush, I am just starting with my crease, working that shadow upward in a circular motion, and really taking my time here and creating some depth with that first layer so it melts really nice with that concealer, and then going back in with another layer of color with that same warm brown. Using a darker chocolate color, we are going into the crease again and then picking up a fluffy brush and running all over everything we just did. Using our darkest chocolate shade thus far and a fluffy brush, I'm just depositing that color right on my lids, right at the ends of my eyes, and then really getting in there in the crease and going back and forth between this brush and my another fluffy brush, and just really starting to pull that color outward to create more depth. That is the whole purpose of all these different colors and shades, is just for depth purposes. So now I'm taking the smallest brush of all with some black shadow and again deepening that corner. Don't forget to blend because that's what makes it look so seamless. I'm quickly applying the Glitter NYX primer and then jumping in with a warm toned shimmer, again with my finger. Then I'm using this liner brush and creating that very first foundation layer of my gel liner as close as I possibly can to my lash line, and then bringing it in so I can get a really nice seamless lash application later on. So this is super important. Take your time here. Don't rush it. It's worth the wait. This is typically how I do my wing liner. I'll just start with the easy part first, and then I'll jump back and take care of the wings later. I feel like it's just easier that way. And yeah, then I just draw a line out. It doesn't have to be perfect. Pull it in, and then I can clean up that line later. It's really gonna help once we get some micellar water in there and clean up that line and pull it upward. So don't stress, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just a perfectionist and I'll try at least. So yeah, my favorite step, the cleanup. Really get in there, get as close as you can, and then drag that liner out, and then you can just clean it up with your finger and bam, it's gorgeous. My favorite part, some tight lining on the top waterline and the bottom. This honestly makes such a big difference, and although everybody hates this step, it's so essential. I mean, you just slap it on and then I just smoke it out. Now I'm taking a smaller brush with some shadow and just setting that. And yes, I went back and deepened the corners again because I do that like a million times. And then I'm taking my Amavi lashes, love that stuff. I'm reusing them, so I just peeled off the glue real quick, threw on some new glue, let it dry, and then popped them on with my applicators. Now I'm just making sure they're comfortable. So I do that, just kind of press them together, push them up, whatever feels right, honestly, and reapply. And mascara with Ulta's waterproof lashes. Next, I started on skin. I threw on some of Clinique's Moisturizing Lotion and really worked that in, threw whatever was extra down my neck, and then jumped into primer. I applied a thin layer of the Dr.Brandt Pore Refiner Primer all over as my base, and then I started spot correcting with my Temptu concealer because I have a lot of breakouts at the moment. I'm doing a quick spot test with my soft matte foundation from Nars in the shade Deauville Light 4, and then I am jumping in with my already fluffy and wet beauty blender with the foundation and working section by section so we can really mold that foundation where we need it. Using my concealer brush and my Temptu concealer, I am applying and depositing that color underneath of my eyes and as close as I can to my wing, just for extra lift and coverage and to really get some of that lightness and later on shadows from the contour in. I am blending with my beauty blender now just so everything melts, and then I am going in with a fluffy brush and really getting in there under my eyes and all those tight spots we couldn't reach before. For contour, I'm going in with my Golden Tan Cream Bronzer from Anastasia. I've already melted some to the back of my hand just to warm it up, and then I go in with this really nice medium shaped Real Techniques brush and I start carving out my cheekbones and my jawline. I'm taking that color everywhere, forehead, nose, down my neck, literally everywhere. This is really what melts everything together, and everything after this step I think just looks flawless. So because my hair gets in the way, I like to secure that with my hand, and then I work that contour color into my hairline. With a small fluffy brush, I am taking that same contour color around the sides of my nose and up into the inner corners of my eyes, really fluffing and blending everything out just for more definition, and then adding that little line right there for lift. Then I'm jumping in with my beauty blender and touching up the sides and really cleaning it up so it looks a little more how I want it. Now I'm using a nice Mehron powder, and I'm jumping in there and setting that contour, basically going over everything we just did with that cream bronzer. You already know I'm using my Coco Bling Artist Couture loose highlighter on a small brush and highlighting right underneath my brows, and of course after blending that out I'm applying some to my inner corners. This is such a pretty shimmer and I feel like it just brings so much beautiful lightness into my eyes, so definitely a favorite. For the rest of my highlight, I am using the shade Illuminati in that same loose highlighter from Artist Couture, and I'm applying it everywhere else. A smaller brush for the highlighter on my nose, of course, and then I am taking my Happy blush from Rare Beauty, the liquid one, which is Amaze, and I'm warming it up on the back of my hand and then applying it with a fluffy brush onto my cheekbones. I like to throw this color everywhere because it really brings life back into the face, all that beautiful color and warmth. And then of course I'm using my Rising Star cheek palette from Nars, and I'm using the shade Guilty Pleasure and setting that blush with more blush. And then of course, using my Laura Mercier translucent powder and my powder puff, I am carving everything out and being very generous with this powder. I love this trick. Layer up that loose powder and then afterwards brush it away with pressed powder on a brush. Oh my gosh, literally instant filter. So I'm obsessed, will forever be doing this. So I throw on some of my Smith's lip balm, and then I jump into my Subculture lip pencil from MAC, and I start correcting my lips and overlaying just a tad. Then once that's all done and finished, I throw on some Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury, work that in, pat it together, and then last but not least, throw on some NYX gloss, and boom, gorge. Then I jump back over here and apply some of that pressed powder I was talking about onto my face. I really brush away everything, and it just leaves me with this beautiful HD photo finish skin. And there you have it, folks. And that is all. I set my face with the Charlotte Tilbury airbrush setting spray off camera, and otherwise your girl is ready. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.